Hello, this is Mike Steingraber with your weekly closing comments for February 17th, 2023. So for the overall week, March corn closed up 1 3/4 cents. May was up 2.5 cents. March beans closed up 3/4 of a cent for the week, and May beans were up a penny. And wheat was up 1/2 cent for the week. So we'll start with corn. Had a little bit of a gain this week. Kind of the thing supporting the corn is the decline in the Argentine crop conditions. Parts of their area has dropped the rating from 20% to 11%, good to excellent. So that's kind of helping the corn market a little bit. They had a little bit of rains down there, so we're going to continue to watch South America's weather and everything that comes along with that. The second crop of corn is really what we're looking at. The U.S. corn exports fallen quite a bit, mostly because Brazil's sold a lot further into the future, and they're a lot cheaper than our corn, so that's something to keep an eye on too. Also, ethanol demand's fallen quite a bit right now, so coming into the future, if they're thinking maybe spring we could see the ethanol demand come back up with different fuel mixtures and stuff like that. And then they're hoping that China can return to buy some corn here at some point in the near future. So that all being said, we're holding pretty steady. Hopefully the outlook gets a little bit better for us. Overall with corn, like I said, it's not a bad time to start looking at new crop, getting some priced. If you haven't already, it's a really good idea to start looking into that. Prices are still moderately decent. As far as I know, inputs have gone down a little bit, so those are all things to kind of keep an eye on in the corn market going forward, and maybe don't even be too shy looking forward to 2024 as well. Moving on to soybeans, the Buenos Aires exchange showed Argentina's soybean conditions going backwards again. The crops only rated 9% good to excellent and 56 poor to very poor. Last week it was at 13% good to excellent, 48 poor to very poor. So their beans aren't looking very good over in that Argentina area. And then there's going to be more weather challenges coming. The weather outlook there is cool and dry for the next 10 days, potentially some frost issues. I did read that they're supposed to get really hot and dry. So a lot of different stuff happening down there. Then another thing that kind of going on is the Brazil March beans are about $1 cheaper than the beans that we ship out of the Gulf. So that's a little concerning, but we're still ahead of pace on our commitments of export sales with soybeans. So like I said, right now, and the same as corn, we're not at a bad price. I think we're over $13 cash for new crop. So it's a decent price. I encourage people to start looking at locking some in there. Wouldn't do everything, but do some. Make sure you get some on the books. It should be profitable, so it's a good place to start. For the wheat growers, not a whole lot going on. Everything's still kind of based off of Russia, Ukraine, the Black Sea market because of the war and everything. That's where lots happening. Locally, the southwestern U.S. plains got some pretty decent moisture from rain and snow, but according to the drought monitor, it's not doing too much for the ongoing drought they're having right now. So it's also something to keep an eye on in the wheat market. For the week on cash, I'm going to give the same advice on wheat as I do with corn and beans. It's never too early to look. I know we don't know what kind of crop we're going to have yet, if we'll even have a crop. It's been kind of a goofy winter, but overall wheat prices stay pretty good. So it definitely wouldn't be a bad idea if you think you're going to have some wheat to maybe lock a little bit in right now. Sitting right around the 690 to 680 range, somewhere in there. So just things to keep a look at in the upcoming future here. Thank you very much.